All right, click the links to join channel here over, subscribe to our, I'm going to mailbox even with mail some comics or something. So with all this kind of stuff, you just got to keep pushing this window further to the right. Just reject all this kind of stuff. Just start saying all of this is cancer, and then, but you have to say it without being obviously trolling. You just have to pretend to be kind of naive as to why steam is coming out of their ears. Like, no, no, this diversity is stupid. And then when they ad hominem, you point out that it's an ad hom. It's like, but you're not saying why it's good. It's like, this is my personal subjective opinion. I think it's really dumb. I don't want to see these kind of stories because all they have is personal attacks. They can't argue the argument, mostly because they don't have an argument on the merits, but also because they're the participation trophy generation. They're taught what to think and not how to explore the process of thinking and like arguing your opponent's argument. They don't have any of those skills. That's why they have to censor and deplatform. Like these latest generations of leftists are the dumbest MFers on earth. And the funny thing is, it's a group of mostly midwits, and maybe even people who are slightly to the right of that curve, but they're so brainwashed by never having their ideas challenged and then politely engaging in rational, reasonable discussion with people who have divergent opinions from you without involving emotions. They don't have any of that ability. Where it's weird, like the right has this reputation as kind of loose and free and that kind of stuff, but like they're able to arrive at the conclusion without all these brainwash propaganda steps. Right has less brainwashing. They do have their own version of it, but we're slowly washing that away on alt social media. It's doing the Lord's work. It's its own reward. Anyway, so all this kind of stuff, you just have to say it's all cancer and then pretend not to understand their soy rage. You think you hate soy boys? You only think you do. You'll pass beyond hate to just not caring. So there's a troll in the comment section of this channel who was asking me if I hate Hollywood so much. It's like, well, I should support the writer's strike. But I don't hate Hollywood. I mean, maybe there's a little puffery for making YouTube videos, but no, I don't hate Hollywood. I just don't have the emotional involvement. I don't think anyone like who was that guy that the bald-headed guy who was the New Zealand guy who was doing a video on the video game thing and the pronouns. That's because that video probably made him like $20,000 if he's got a big enough channel. Like everyone realizes that. Is he really outraged? Maybe. But maybe not. I mean, he's making money on the channels, and like all the soy boys who react to it, it's like you're just making him more money. It's like Heels versus Babyface. That's the guy's name. He's brilliant. He's a fisherman, and he's just throwing out bait left and right. And actually, that's kind of what Twitter's turned into. It's turned into engagement farming. But like, if you bite on that kind of infotainment stuff, and listen, it's great if you're entertained by it, by all means. But it's just money on YouTube. It's just advertising revenue. It's like most of these kind of channels, it's like, is it real? Some of it's real. Some of it's legitimately like, you look at this stuff and you're like, it's so stupid. It's beyond the ability to comprehend how brainwashed these soy people are. But it's like, yeah, that video, $14,000 for one video. Thanks, soy boys. You're like the outrage on Twitter. Look at this bald-headed fat Australian guy getting so outraged about pronouns. Yikes, my guy touched grass. He's like, dude, I just made so much effing money. That's all it boils. Thanks, leftists. I mean, most of this stuff is not real. Channels this small are real because there's no money in channels this small. Like you're getting the real deal. But once they reach a certain level and it's a full-time job for them, it's just engagement farming. It's, it is what it is. Anyway, so there's he's asking me about it, like I hate Hollywood. No, I don't. There's no hate. I don't support Hollywood at all. For live streaming entertainment, I don't listen to YouTube at all. I listen to Odyssey and Rumble and some of the more other type of channels out there. HT, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing coming out of Hollywood to get excited about. Hollywood has been dead for, I don't know, over 20 years, and it's getting worse. There's no redemption for Hollywood. Their only point is of sailing the high seas for movies is just to crap all over them, which they very much deserve. By all means, and this is something they say on social media. Oh, these pussies. They go, yikes, my guy. If you don't like it, you don't have to just keep your opinion to yourself. Like, why would I keep my opinion to myself? I want everyone to know how stupid these movies are so they don't waste their hard-earned money on these movies. Let people enjoy things. No, that's how we got here. Fuck that. Fuck all that shit. No, that's how we got here. It's not your kids, my guy. What if they want to sterilize them? Yeah, I don't care anymore. You shouldn't be sterilizing any kids. It's like, or all this kind of stuff. It's like that kind of was it laissez-faire? I don't know what you call it. Call it like social experiment of not caring. No, no, because we're all swimming in the same waters. Are you saying you want to make the trains run on time? Anyway, so yes, by all means, if Hollywood wants to strike, knock yourself out. It's not going to matter either way. The current soy bullshit cancer is for brain damaged idiots, and artificial intelligence and CGI is just going to be just as bad. Either way, Hollywood is going to shrink, and alt media is going to grow. So a movie in 1775 isn't eligible for some stupid awards because it's all I don't know Nordic people, but a Korean film is eligible for awards because it's all Koreans. How exactly are these Swedish less diverse than the Koreans? Gosh, it seems like the parasitical worms in Hollywood just hate blonde people. I wonder why. In case you didn't know, Hollywood has a globalist propaganda list to get the Larry Fink seal of approval. So it has to be gay, non-European, female, or, I mean, whatever identifies as female these days, which is kind of tricky because they can't define it. Like, literally, you guys have one joke, but you never, it's circular, it's whatever, it's not male, and it's just whatever they self-identify. Okay, I mean that's not a definition. That's not how words work. That's not how language structure works. Like you know that, and the dictionaries have been so propagandized that they're one of them. I think Webster was using a circular definition. Like, wow. And then when you reference 1984, and they go, "That's the one book you know, the one you know he was a socialist." The boot stamping on your face. Yeah, but we've read 1984 and Animal Farm and Brave New World and Fahrenheit 451. I don't think the leftists have. Anyway, they really can't define woman because they're terrified to define it. Or they've got to have a certain checklist for BLT. It's like, so if I identify as a woman and Chinese and African and BLT, then I am those things. If I sincerely identify as them, I guess so. To get awards, movies have to be everything but straight and European, which is the definition of propaganda. Having a checklist for social Marxist points, yeah, that's propaganda. Oh, what? Insert gaslighting here, at least to win an award, because Hollywood is controlled by these anti-white worm people. At some point, you have to stop dealing with them as if they are reasonable humans acting rationally. They're simply anti-white. When you put that framework over their behavior, everything starts making sense. Like, especially including some of these boilerplate hot phrases, like, oh, this is just Frankfurt School Marxist propaganda. Like, yikes, my guy, you can't quote the meeting of Engels and whatever from, 18. It's like, yeah, that's just an appeal to authority, friendo. It's all just developmentally, that's why they took the words away from us. We can't say certain words on social media to destroy it, to break down their argument. It's like, it's not really an argument to just, use insulting phrases, but it's kind of all they deserve when you say like, yeah, but I don't see the value of this. I see your argument, and then you have a conclusion, but you're not making the argument reach the conclusion. Go, no, just read my meme. It's longer. It's like your meme is 3 pages long in 6-point font. At no point does your argument support your conclusion. Issue rule analysis conclusion. You just start with conclusion and then conclude with conclusion. No, you're just not smart enough to see. Is it possible that you're brainwashed? Can you argue your opponent's argument? And they look at you and go, no, that we cannot do that. That's a bridge too far. We will not argue the opponent's argument. But, the old adage of debate, you don't know your opponent's argument. You don't really know your own. It goes, but the opponent doesn't have an argument. You're in a cult. You're in a cult if your handlers prevent you from speaking to outsiders, if they prevent you from reading material, any material at all, anything, or listening to speeches, or being discussing things without their influence, without the political commissars. That's how you know you're in a cult. If you can't read things on your own without them going, yikes, my guy, it's a bad influence. We don't talk to reporters because they misconstrue our words. But like, I'm okay, I can talk to reporters. I literally saw that happen in it. I think it was Durst the Worst or something who was in it. Great guy. He was interviewing somebody, and he was interviewing, I think he was interviewing a black guy, and some chick comes over and tells him, oh yeah, we don't like to talk to reporters. And he's like, yeah, I'm okay, I can talk to him. And she's just standing around like wringing her hands because she doesn't know what to say. It's like he rebuked her. How dare you think for yourself? And then she goes and talks to him again. He's like, yeah, I'm okay, I can talk to this guy, I can talk to a reporter, I can think for myself, Karen. It's fine. She walks away. He's like, I don't know what to do. What do we do? Quick, pepper spray him, stop him talking. He's off the plantation. Leftists are the worst fucking people on earth. Anyway, so that's the problem the whole time is once you put rules on films, You have propaganda to serve a globalist master. Film should be organic expressions of the creators, not propped a good thing to satisfy BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. You have to first start by rejecting diversity. Stop the assumption sans argument that it's a good thing. Reject it and replace it with saying, no, that seems really slur here. I prefer tribalism, nationalism, and unity. I want to see my own tribe on screen. Just blonde hair, blue eyed people. That's all I want to see. They claim to value diversity as somehow benefit. I can't identify with non-blue or green eyed people. I'm sorry. That's the tribe I come from. I just can't identify with outsiders. I get post traumatic stress from anything non blue or green. It's just my lived experience, bigot. Yikes, my guy. So you got to reject all this kind of stuff. They claim to value diversity as somehow beneficial, which is weird to me, to claim to value those outside your tribe instead of valuing your tribe first and telling their stories. The Nordic people are already diverse. They're diverse from each other. Every individual is an individual. They're not part of some kind of jellyfish type of construction. I don't want to see stories about Africans or Middle Easterners. I want to see Nordic stories because those are my people. That's my tribe. The Asians or whatever can tell their own stories. And if you're from Nigeria, you don't want to see a Nordic story either. You want to see the Nigerian experience. This globalist nonsense shocks me, and how many people stimulus response accept it without pausing to examine it and reach an independent conclusion. People aren't even taught about their own history. And Hollywood wants to brainwash them into stories about people who aren't them. That's Bolshevik propaganda. It's okay to reject all of this as the toxic cancer it is from the worst people on earth. Didn't you guys applaud Weinstein for like 30 years? Oh, well, yeah, we didn't know. You know. What did Hillary Clinton say? You drag $100 through a trailer park. Yeah, Hillary. Would you repeat that now, or is it believe all women? Not if they accuse somebody on the left. So what about, was it Al Franken? How many of you guys are on that Epstein Paradise Island trip? Names on that list, that flight. You know, Trump. Didn't Trump kick him out of his? I'm no Trump supporter, but like, didn't Trump kick him out of his club or something? And like, Trump was like one of the guys who never went to that island. Oh, and didn't like. Isn't there? Should we look at that list? Gee, how many people got prosecuted for that Ghislaine Maxwell case? Didn't Allison Nathan get appointed to the federal court of appeal by Biden after that case, and like so much of it got redacted? Weird. So many weird things. Anyway, it's always diversity for you, but not for them. But when you examine it, it doesn't make sense. If you take Tokyo and replace the Japanese with Somalians and vice versa, well, Tokyo is no longer what it was, something uniquely Japanese. It becomes something lost and cut off from its root. It becomes nothing. You have the original Japanese with a history and the newcomers who have nothing in common with them. That's the goal of these puppet string pullers, to destroy everything with alteration. If you went to New Tokyo, it would just be an economic zone controlled by banks and NGOs. It would degrade and corrupt into nothing, just a lost, rootless, depressed people who erase their past and have no future. That's the goal. And the whitest of white pills is alt social media. People are finally able to shine a light on the bacteria and start cleansing it. The harsh, incandescent, healing atomic fires of reason. You have to clean it all away and start to make things right. Inshallah, soon it will all be clean. I mean, if you really want it to be. What kind of pop culture channel is this? I don't know. Anyway, thanks everyone over at Subscribestar. Why do they support this shitty little YouTube channel? I think they're supporting the Odyssey and BitChute more than anything else. Or you can join us over at Telegram if you have your asbestos panties on. It's very, very offensive over there. Very, very. Oh, those are all your posts. You got me there. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next episode.